Vibras? Cause we know the Vibras. What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the You Know the Vibras podcast. You already know who it is, your boy Michael Carrasco. As always, I'm with my boy, the one and only Juan the Don. And before I ask you how your week was, I just want to give it a shout out to the comment of the week. This week, the top comment that we liked the most was by Ismael Morales Ramirez, throwing the full government out there.
AKA Ishmula.
Yes, sir.
Damn, why you throw the
Full government out there, man. I'm sorry. If you don't want me to use your government, just make sure that your user ID is not your first and last name. But he's coming.
You're at.
Yeah, you're at.
Or your user
Yeah.
ID, yeah.
So the comment says, Vibras on top of the news outbreaks before they even happen. Man, I mean, we trying. We trying to stay on top of things, you know. We're trying to stay informed and bring you guys the freshest news and anything that we might hear through the, what do they call it, through the grapevine.
Through the grapevine, yeah.
Anything that we hear.
Facts. If you guys, if any of you want to be the source, if any of you want to be a source to the Vibras, you're more than welcome.
Oh yeah, of course.
For sure.
Feed us all the chisme, as we will say, or the controversial topics. Is you send them our way, we definitely make a episode about it. But with that out of the way, you guys keep commenting positive things on the comments, or even if you're trying to shout out somebody on the comments, go right ahead, go ahead and do it. That way we can actually pick people more consistently for the comment of the week. All right. But let me ask you, man, how was?
Oh, and keep subscribing. Get us to 1K. The merch is waiting on you guys. So get us to 1K, and we're gonna start pumping it out. So we're almost there, kinda.
That's right. We just gotta get there. Yeah, but let me ask you, how was your week, man? Tell me something different that you did this week. Is there anything that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, finally have something out of the norm of my regular weeks. You know what I'm saying? I got out of Chicago, and went to Ohio, to spend time with the family and my sister. She had a little birthday, get together, a whole range of things like, dinner, going out and stuff like that. But, before I got to Ohio, we went in a Tesla. It was my first time in a Tesla.
Ooh, how was that? Speak about it.
You guys are like, oh,
speak about it,
it's
man.
just a Tesla. Like, all you guys probably been in one. Cool, I haven't. It's my first time. We all don't have it like you guys, okay? But yeah, so it was interesting, man. I would say I was surprised how plain the inside was.
Yeah,
but that's something that Elon Musk thrives, and he just wants you guys to focus on the road and have minimal distractions as possible inside the vehicle. So, it's a bit confusing. You're used to like moving the reverse and drive on the side, like on our what's the thing called, like
on like a regular car.
Like on our
next to the armrest,
bottom right. You know what I'm saying? Like next to the armrest, like you have that, right? But this is like steering wheel. Then everything's here, and like the drive, reverse, and everything's in one of the little.
Yeah,
things.
It's like back in the days. You remember the old cars? You had to.
Yeah, some vehicles did have it like that. So that is similar to that. And then there's no dashboard. There's just a big like tablet.
Oh yeah, that is right. You know what? I was thinking about getting a Tesla, like the Model 3, but that was the only thing that turned me off. It's like I need something to be there. Like I get it, I can see better, but I just need something there because you have to look on the screen, right, to see your speed.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of pros and cons with that. But yeah, major con would be I got to drive it and it goes so fast. Like you don't even feel like you're going that fast. Like there was times like I was going like 100 and I felt like I was going 50, 60.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep looking to the right, which is a bit,
right,
bit of a pain, but or looking to the middle. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things about it and a lot of bad things about it. There's always room for improvement. I would say the major con I feel is maybe like having to stop we stopped a lot of times to charge. So I would say for long distance, it was 5-hour trip. We stopped like 3 times maybe. I'd say long distance, I wouldn't recommend it, but local, it's a
Right.
nice smooth car. Drives nice, goes very fast. I got the luxury of yeah, we went to Ohio. I forgot to mention we got to see our dad, and that was a big event. Got to see my dad after some time, and got to chop it up with him. He was giving us some advice, and telling us things of how he's proud of us and things we should keep doing and things we should improve on as young men. He was just breaking down father talk, and we let him drive the Tesla.
How did he feel?
And he was shocked, man. He was like, "Wow, man! Now I feel like I accomplished everything I needed to accomplish in
Right.
life. Like I rode an electric vehicle. Like he was shocked. They're like, wow!" He just came saying, "Wow!" Like he's just shocked about the advanced technology.
Mm-hmm.
He's it was good to see that. It was a bit heartwarming, seeing that and spending time with
It
him.
was like,
It was good, and so
I was gonna say, I bet it felt like watching a kid open a new toy or play with a new toy for the first time.
right. No, yeah, it did feel like that. It did. It definitely did. But yeah, so I was in Ohio, got to see the cousins and family, like I said. Then we got back. And yeah, I came back to Chicago, felt reality a little bit, got back into the normal routine. Went to the gym today. Uh wow. Had not an encounter, but I was working out, doing bench. We was doing chest day. And I was feeling good. I was feeling good, right? I was pushing the weight. Unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, but we had a group of guys next to us that were, doing good, like pushing heavy weight. You feel me? And I was like, damn, like sometimes I try not to compete with people,
But
but
sometimes
like
it
I
just
was just feeling
happens.
very good. I was just feeling very good, and we put 225, and I was like pushing. I'm like, yo, I'm pushing it, and I was just pushing it fast. And I don't know if I pushed it too fast or what. I was coming down too hard. Well, I don't know how that sounds, but I was, going down hard and pushing it, but my shoulder just got like,
Oh
I
man,
feel
low
like I
pop.
injured it, man. Yeah, it just, I don't know, man. I've been down the whole day because of that, and like it just affected the whole workout too. So
Nah, yeah, I
had
feel
to end the
that.
workout quick. But yeah, oh yeah. Also, this weekend into the week, like from the weekend into the week, been watching the World Baseball Classic. Been keeping up with that. Seeing teams from all over. This is for those who don't know, World Baseball Classic is like the World Cup for baseball. You know what I mean? And get to watch your country going out there and playing with so much pride and playing for a reason, honestly,
Right.
because they're playing for the country.
Mm-hmm.
You got your whole country. You don't want to let your country down. So watching Dominican Republic go out there. Unfortunately, we lost the first game to Venezuela, but we just racked up a win today against Nicaragua,
Mm-hmm.
and got a couple games left. We play Puerto Rico on Wednesday. It's gonna be
Yeah,
huge.
that's
It's
gonna be a
gonna be
good.
wild. Those games are always
Yeah.
crazy. The fans always get
Mm-hmm.
chirpy. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to keep watching the games. It's the World Cup is, I mean, not the World Cup. The World Baseball Classic is definitely one of those things. Like normally, if you don't watch baseball, I understand you get tired or bored of
Mm-hmm.
watching it. But the World Baseball Classic, like you watch the full 9 innings and it goes by so fast. Like, could you see so much like action? Like, it's like every All Star team
Right.
possible from
Yeah.
every country. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to watch and it's fun to watch. But yeah, that's all I've been doing, just watching that and yeah, just getting back into the routine. How about yourself?
Uh,
Sorry for that
nah,
whole
you
spill.
good, man. You good. I mean, my week been, been thing. I mean, it's been chill, honestly. It's just preparing. Next week, I leave. I got to go to a wedding. One of my good friends is getting married, so it's just been preparing for that. Watching my weight can be gaining weight because the random might not fit. So, uh,
Oh,
yeah, the
the
tuck.
tux.
So that's pretty much it, man. I just been relaxing, just trying to be at peace with myself and be in a good mental state. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I didn't do anything exciting like you did.
Yeah.
I didn't get to drive a Tesla, but eventually I will. Maybe I'll buy one. Who knows?
hmm
Maybe once you guys start
I would say
subscribing.
it's been.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I would say it's a bit. I would say it's a bit funny how our roles have like flipped in dress code a little bit. You're normally
Oh
the one in hoodies, and I'm
yeah.
normally the one in polos. But
I,
yeah.
I even got the I even got the nice watch on
Damn.
today, man.
Damn,
I feel
man. You getting paid from
accomplished.
the podcast and not telling me,
Nah,
man? What's
man,
going on over
nah.
there, man? I'm gonna have to
I
check
had to
the
go hustle in the streets for this. Nah, I feel good,
Oh
man.
man.
You know what? Lately, I've been wearing a lot more polos. I don't know why, no particular reason, but I just feel good when I'm actually wearing polos, nice shoes, nice pants, got a watch on, not the usual, the Apple Watch, and yeah, I just been feeling good for some reason. So I decided to bust it out today. Yeah, yeah, and then the glasses. Finally got new glasses. So, yeah, call me Dr. Michael today.
You can call yourself that.
I'm calling myself that, Dr. Michael. That should be me. Nah, nah, nah. I don't wear my glasses enough. But do you have a quote for us today, my man?
I do. I do. Um, like I said, you can always bet if it's anonymous or not, because I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know who this quote came from or this statement or saying or whatever it came from, but you see it a lot on Instagram and all over the place, and I just feel like it's gonna make the most sense for today's episode. And I don't know, it's just a quote or a saying that you see and you just feel it and you like, damn, that's facts, and you just think about it a moment where you could apply this to, and it simply says, "The longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you postpone what is.
Mm-hmm.
So the longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you postpone what is. So in life, a lot of people I feel like a lot of people entertain many things that, aren't I wouldn't say are convenient for them. And you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you entertaining these things, you bringing that energy or, that thing into your life. And you may be postponing something that, is better for you.
Right.
So I feel like this could be that you could say this, and you could break this down in a ton of different ways, but I think one that's just flashing in my head now is like careers. Like say, you can be entertaining many, like let's say you're looking for jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be entertaining many that seem, attractive to you, for whatever reason, but one that offered you already, and you like keep it on the side, you're
Right.
postponed, like you're not giving any attention, but that could be the one that is meant for you, and can be the one that, could be the one that is like the quote said, is is meant for you to be. Like with that, if you don't postpone and you actually look into it and get what God gives you, then your life can get on the right track, instead of you entertaining things that are not going to be good for you or things that are not going to work out for you. um but then again, it's hard because at times I feel like you can't tell what job or what thing is really that what you're postponing. You know what I'm saying? It just happens
Right.
because life. But I feel like if you kind of understand it, then I feel like it's not too good to postpone things. Like say, like I'm basically what I'm saying is, if you have it on the table and you don't have anything else, don't postpone it and take it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Right. And one thing that just came up, just thinking about it, something may seem like it's for you at a certain time, but it may be
Mm-hmm.
good for you on a short term basis rather than a long term basis.
Right.
Now that was a good quote. That was a good
Yeah, I don't
quote.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Then I butchered it in the beginning.
nah, it
Damn.
happens, man. It happens. We transparent, man. We human. We mess up sometimes. That was a Juan moment right there.
But but before we start,
Mm-hmm.
vintage, the vibras. Fun fact: we used to memorize quotes
Facts.
before we would record. Like sometimes the episode would get delayed because we
We're gonna
couldn't
make.
memorize the quote. So and if you go to old, the vibras episodes, there are some long quotes.
Oh
So
yeah,
applaud us for
yeah.
memorizing them in minutes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, like I said, vintage, the vibras. Today we're going back to our roots. I'd say we've been shying away from it a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. But we're getting back to it. I feel like it's only right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So today's talk, like my man's, you said, I feel like we've been shining away from this type of topics for a little bit, and today we're gonna be talking about what it is like to find your true self, like how to find,
Finding your true self.
yeah, essentially. I want to get started with the meaning, and at least what it means to me. To me, like finding your true self is, living your most authentic self and doing things that bring you joy and make you happy. You know, what was I going to say? I lost the word. That's a word that I was thinking about. That's a Michael moment right there. I'll take it. I'll take it like a champ.
Michael moment.
We might have to bring the Juan and Michael moments back. But what I was trying to say is, not living, like a life that's not meant for you, or something that you use doing it just to mask, what you truly want to do. And it relates to the quote. So I see the connection there.
Yeah, and what you said, it's a good point is realizing who you truly are and not who you want to be. It's a bit tricky. That's a bit tricky to say, but when you realize who you truly are, you start to X out the fantasies that you once
Hmm.
had of who you wanted to be. Because in ways, or in, how can I say this, in life, there's times where you do want to thrive to be someone, but like we've said before, if it's not realistic, do yourself a favor and be real with yourself and understand what you are capable of and what who you truly are. That way you don't feel discouraged or upset if you don't reach that who you want it to be, like that big or whatever, that basically stop fantasizing things that are not realistic. It sounds very cutthroat or very straightforward, but it's the truth, because us as humans, uh we do ourselves a bad favor and doing these things, and I feel like it's such a relief when you're honest with yourself, and are starting to realize, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I should go this route, what I'm saying, and then you hit that route even harder, and then you start seeing uh the results, which then feels even better. So I think that's important. Realizing who you truly are and not who you want to be, or who you're. It sounds it's a bit tricky, bro, because sometimes you have to aspire to be someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just feel like the right way to say that is like, realize who you truly are, and not who you
Fantasize to be.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
no, no,
saying?
I know what you're saying.
Fantasize to be, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, it's okay to admire somebody, but you have to know that that person is that person, and then you are your own person. So you have to understand that you are you, and that person's that person. So although you admire them, you have to do things not just because a person that you admire, or you are, or you look up to, does that thing. You have to
Mhm.
find things that you enjoy doing and make you happy at the end of the day. Because
Right.
one thing that, that I've been trying to, install into my brain is, I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for somebody else. And although it sounds
Right.
a little selfish, but if you're doing something for somebody else, you will never be satisfied with the results. Versus if you do it for yourself, that's when you get some satisfaction and joy from it.
Hmm. Right. Now I feel like the big factor in this is obviously at first determining your value.
Hmm.
Um, that's similar to knowing your worth, like we said
Right.
a billion times. But determining your value is basically like being realistic with your worth. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like being realistic with knowing your worth is what I basically want to say. But and how you get to that point is number one, obviously knowing your strengths.
Yes.
Know things like know what you're strong in, know skills that you may have, know what you're good at, things like that. I feel that's an important thing. One of the first steps that I think are very important is knowing what you're good at, and like I said, like what your strong suit is. That way, what's realistic, and you know what to hit what to hit hard, like when you're in the process of getting there.
Right.
And then obviously knowing your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the weaknesses, it's okay to acknowledge them because there's always room for improvement.
Exactly.
And I feel like when you realize a weakness that you may have, and if you see that there's a way you can fix it or strengthen it, I feel like that's a more of a relief. But I feel like that all starts with the weakness thing. I feel like that all starts with your like a way to overcome it all starts in your inner circle and your support group, because sometimes they see your weakness or they may see a weakness that you don't see. But I feel like sometimes we lack a strong support system because some people see it and they don't tell you.
Right.
And maybe they're afraid to tell you because you may react a certain way, or you may think that they are, envying you or trying to, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that may come from it. But when you have a strong support system and they tell you that you're wrong in something, or they tell you that, you may need to strengthen this to, to reach your potential. I just feel like I'll keep adding more things, but that's where you got to be able to take criticism,
Right.
because taking criticism sharpens you as an individual, and when you can take it and you surpass the criticism, and you do what they tell you, in a way, but you actually apply it to your lifestyle or whatever. That's where you won in life a little
It's
bit.
a game
I'd say,
changer.
because it's a game changer, because you see what you're you see what something you may lack in, or you see something you may not be as strong as, and your friends is telling you. So you're strong as an individual by taking criticism from your friend when they're trying to help you out, and then you go out there and improve in that area. So they like, it's a refresher. It feels refreshing for you and for them as a friend, because then they'd want the same from you to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you see,
go ahead. One thing that I wanted to add is you have to be okay with being vulnerable, and that that applies to the weakness. I feel like by human nature, we don't like to accept the fact that there are times where we are vulnerable, and because we use for some reason associated with being such a negative thing. And I feel
yeah, well, then yeah, I was gonna say, then there's times where, like, say a certain skill or a certain hobby or something that you created
mm-hmm.
that is near and dear to your heart, and someone tells you like something negative about that, then I feel like that's where you kind of, well, not negative, but they criticize that, you see it as negativity because it's something that you hold close to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there might be ways to improve that. Like, say for instance, there's a small business that you started, and you feel like you could do better, but you don't know what you could do better, and a friend is telling you, oh, maybe you need to switch this around or put this here or do that, and you're like, no, what do you mean? Like, it's right, but you know that it's not right. You just don't want to take that. Sometimes people see it as humiliation from someone,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's where your support system isn't the right support system if you see them that way.
Right.
Or maybe you are wrong. Sometimes us as humans, we got to accept when we're wrong, us personally, because sometimes someone's trying to help you and you see it as humiliation when it's really not, when they're just trying to give you a helping hand and trying to help you improve as an individual. So I think it's a problem, but it's things where you have to realize when you're wrong, and you have to realize, you know what I'm saying, when someone's trying to help you as well. Like, don't mix both of them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then there is times where people are criticizing you, but you feel like it can be envy, and that it could be true. Someone can be like a local, like a partner or someone that's doing another business as well,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to grow, and maybe, you know what I'm saying, but be the bigger person, and don't see it that way. Just be like, okay, thank you, and keep it pushing. Don't just feel super negative about that and meet them, at their negativity, and then try to give them bad criticism as well. No, just try to help people. Like the other day, I ran into somebody and I was telling them, like, because they told me that they do things on Instagram, like they go review like restaurants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were new to it. I'm like, wow, you could do so many things. Like I was giving them free game, like telling them how they can improve like their marketing tips, like ways to improve their reels and ways they could make it bigger than what it is, like doing other things, like telling them what they should do, what they shouldn't, even though I'm not in it, but
Right.
I'm in content creation, so I understand, like, and we've had a little success on social media, so I'd rather give that to people than hold it in and not help someone out that they could be struggling or whatever, and that it's a slight relief for them,
No, I agree 100%. I feel like one thing that we gotta, I wouldn't say, well, not necessarily normalize, but accept is that it's okay to give other people free game or like advice, or let's say if they're doing the same thing as you, it's okay to help them. Because for me, when I started Golden, Jordan Ray, he also had a clothing brand.
Mm.
And like at first I was like, in my mind, I was like, man, why would I like network with this guy? Like he's my competition, but like you gotta realize that there's 7 billion people in the planet. Like it's okay to work with other people and also like help each other, regardless of if you guys are in the same like industry or whatnot. You got to help each other, and I feel like that's one way to help yourself growth as well.
Well, I think where you may be wrong and where people similar to you may be wrong is when you see colleagues as competition and not colleagues.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That was my mindset
when you
back
start
in the
seeing
days.
other people, right. Well, yeah. Well, basically, what I'm saying, yeah, that's the wrong mindset, because once you see them as competition, then your conversations with that person is not genuine.
Exactly.
And you're doing yourself a harm and them a harm because you're too worried about them failing and not, you succeeding with them.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem I feel like us individuals have. Like in the podcast world, you guys know, if you a colleague of ours, or if I talk to you personally, I'm an open book. I'll tell you things, like, what I'm saying, I'll tell you topics, I'll tell you things that you can improve on, tell you, what I'm saying, if an episode is good or is it bad. Like I'm an open book, and I'm super I have a good criticism that it helps a lot of people, like even artists, musical artists that I know would run a song by me or anything, and I'll tell them, like, I'll keep it real with them, or that's a hit or that's trash. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes being real with people is good, because when they fix the thing and they see that it works, then they come back to you like, okay, this is actually someone that's looking out for me, like I was trying to mention earlier. But yeah, continuing on this, another thing that I was thinking about with finding your true self is take risk. That's something that we've mentioned in the past. I posted this thing the other day, and you reacted to it. It was like a thing of like dice. It was like risk and then rich, like rolling up the S and K is rich. So basically the message they were trying to get to was like, if you take risks, then there's a possibility you can be rich. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Taking the risk is important, because I'd rather take the risk than have that regret of like, damn, what would have happened if I did it? You know what I'm saying? Having that thought, just is going to be stuck with you forever. You know what I'm saying? So instead of having that thought, take the risk and deal and roll with the punches after that. Like if things don't go your way, you took the risk. You can be like, hey, at least I tried. You feel me? Don't be afraid to try it. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing that I want to say in life. Don't be afraid to try things, and take risk if they're presented to you. Obviously good risk, not risk that have a bad, result if you don't succeed with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, be considerate at least.
Yeah, you got to take calculated risk, but even adding to that, like,
calculated risk.
Even if you take a risk and it doesn't go the way you want it to go with, learn from it. Like it's all part, we always say it's all part of the process. Failures are lessons.
Right.
And you know, and I feel like when it comes to finding your true self, you gotta learn. You gotta learn like your risk threshold. Like for me, you know, I'll ride $20,000 on black every day. I mean, you know, just being just as an example, right? Like I know my threshold. I know, okay, I know I can go this level where somebody might be at this level. And I feel like once you know, okay, this is how much risk I can tolerate, that's going to help you make the decisions that you are most comfortable and, you know, the most happy with.
Right. Right. No, I agree. I feel like something that's good. I don't know if you can relate it to that, but something that's good to do in life when trying to, find that self improvement or find ways to be a better individual. Um, I feel like it's good to track, certain things, like
Hmm.
track things and see the improvement. Like, if you have a business, track, like, obviously you're gonna track the income and everything, but like track like the traffic and track if like the next week, like try to shoot for, basically what I'm trying to say is try to improve every week or try to
Right.
improve each day. Like see improvement. You know what I'm saying? And the gym as well. We always use the gym. If you did 5 reps one week, try to do 6 reps the next
Hmm.
week. Like, and life, honestly, the best way to put this in life, it's I feel like it's important to push yourself as an individual, push yourself to your max, because that pushing yourself helps you get the best out of you. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you, it gets you curious to see, the results, to see if you improved or see if you still, if if you did something good to get you to that next level. I feel like that's really important in my opinion,
Right.
pushing yourself as an individual.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. 100%. You gotta, you know, and like you said, it doesn't have to be like a big jump. You can do it gradually, right? Like the gym is a great example. Like you do 5, all right. Next week I'm gonna shoot for 6. The following week 7, until you reach that point where you feel, you know, the most satisfied and
Comfortable,
most
yeah.
comfortable as
Yeah,
well.
satisfied. Yeah, for sure.
And
And not just the gym, like we said, in a
you
lot
know, a
of
lot of
things.
things. Yeah, yeah. Especially, you know, like for us with the podcast, it's like, you know, we look at the views that we get each week. So like for us, it's like, okay, with this 60 today this week, let's try to hit 70 next week, or you know, and because it takes time. I'm gonna say that, like, finding your true self, it takes time. It's an ongoing process. And then I do want to ask you this: how do you not get discouraged when like, let's say you don't get the results that you were looking for, and you know you spend so much time through this journey, especially, let's say, like finding your true self.
Yeah. Um, I mean, like especially with the podcast, I say that's the best way to have an example with it. I just, like I said earlier, you just got to be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And well, like I said previously last week, I think control what you can control. That's something that I go by. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we could do is put the content out there, and if let God handle the rest. If people are gonna consume it, they do, and if they don't, I mean, you
Hmm.
can't. You can only do so much. You
Right.
can't, manually put the people to watch the video. You know what I'm saying? But I would say at first I was really worried about it. Like when we first started, I was worried about the views and everything. But like it got to a point where, what I'm saying, we were consistent dropping videos every week, and what I'm saying, it was just like it hit a drop and we were just averaging that. So I'm like, okay, this is the average. We just gonna have to be
Yeah.
okay with that. Sometimes a video might be a boom or a bust. And that's things that, humble you and show you that there are ups and downs throughout any process. You
Exactly.
just got to be okay with that and understand that right now it might not be how you want it to go, but things are gonna get better eventually. So, like, I mean, I remember when we started, we was getting 200 views,
Right.
like nothing, 100 something views, like, and then now it's like at 50, 60. I'm like, damn, that's a huge fall. But
Right. Right.
there's a lot of things behind that, I'd say, and but hey, we're just here trying to be consistent for you guys, and hopefully one day we have that one video that just
Will take
blows up,
us.
and
Will take us where we need to be.
and we right. But that's how I'd answer that. I just feel like you just have to be real with yourself, and then if things don't go the way you want them to go, or things are not going the way you want them to go, just know that things are gonna get better.
Right. Right.
That's the way I just became stronger mentally with those things, and like us, like not even the podcast, like it's what's it called? As individuals, as humans, like we've dealt with things like these things in our regular day to day lives. Social media is another great example. If you'd say you never cared about likes like on your pictures back in the day or throughout any part of your life, you're full of what I'm saying.
That I mean, that was the only reason
Because
we will post to see how many likes we'll get.
right, right. So and views, people were crazy
Mm-hmm.
about views. I remember it got to a point where I think my first Snapchat ever, I was adding random people, bro. Like adding
Right.
people that Snapchat would recommend to you just to get
Used
the
to get
views up, which was
views.
nuts. Like you
Yeah.
just, but I applaud Instagram. At first, we talked about it when we were talking about we talked about is Instagram. We had an episode when we were talking about Instagram. I can't remember the exact name of it. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. But basically uh what I was saying in the episode was like we were talking about the likes, like the when Instagram was removing the likes.
Mm-hmm.
And I applaud Instagram. I applaud on Instagram in this because it was like his Instagram losing its essence. We were
Mm-hmm.
talking about that. And I applaud Instagram for this because now you just shutting off the likes, like the number of likes. You don't even have to worry about that number.
Right.
And you just go, you know what I'm saying? You just go on about your day. Back in the day, people were like, oh, damn, this post got less likes than this one. Like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like people would get down on themselves and delete the picture. There
Then
was times where I
repost
deleted
it.
a picture, like a lot, and repost it. You know what I'm saying? People always done that, and you still get no
Mm-hmm.
likes. You feel me? So I was like, so I feel like in life, man, with that approach, like we as individuals are wrong, but I feel like once you dominate that, those things don't affect you.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I agree 100%.
So that's how I look at
I
it.
do have one more questions, and then we can start. We can go from there. Will you say, since you were on the social media topic, will you say social media makes it a little more difficult trying to find your true self?
Indeed, for sure, because sometimes we try to like honestly, the social media person that you are and the real person you are two complete different people.
Right.
Like let's be real.
No, that is true.
For a lot of us, I'd say for a lot of us, some people act differently on social media, and then in person they act completely different. So I feel like that's one thing, but I blame social media for that because sometimes people try to put out
A
a
persona.
certain picture of themselves, a persona to comply or to feel somewhat comfortable on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you just see a lot of people sharing or retweeting or doing a lot of these things, and they may not agree with those things, but they want to seem, a part of the group and not seem like the outsider and, be accepted by a people and stuff like that. So I think social media is a big factor. And I feel like a lot of people do let social media dominate um, their self improvement in many ways.
Right.
It ranges, but I feel like also a lot of people go to social media as an escape when they are suffering mentally or are suffering with self improvement, and they try to seek help through those platforms. You may see someone post like something about heartbreak, and then 1,000 people, or they're expecting a lot of people to reply.
Like care. Yeah.
And this is where it's a double sword. This is where it's a double sword. You run to social media for help, and then you don't receive the help, and you just like,
what did I do
it's
wrong?
wow, like yeah, like
Yeah.
you just feel empty at that point. You know what I mean? So I feel like that has pros and cons to that. I feel like sometimes it's good because you may run into like some motivation or someone, giving you good info or ways to improve it. But then there's times where you may not receive anything, or you
Right.
may or you may go in there and see something you didn't want to see that makes things worse. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
That's where
agree.
it's a hit or miss, man.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's why, like, for me, um, I started just following like inspirational people, like people that send out like a positive message, or I'm an entrepreneur, so I've been following a lot of entrepreneurs on Instagram, and people that
Mhm.
make content, other podcaster, and I feel like for me that has helped because I'm not, when I go on social media, I'm not being bombarded by like the TikTok dances, or all the stuff going on. Like, if I need, quote unquote, like an escape from my actual life, I want it to be something positive. At least that's for that's how I see it. So, and like, I mean,
Right.
it's been a big transition because you know 3 years ago I didn't have the same mentality. I was just following everybody. Oh, this person just became famous. Let me follow them. But like now, I feel like now I'm more, I would say, in the stage that I'm in my life, I'm more trying, not yes, I would say, protecting like my energy, and then my mental my mental health, as well as if I'm going to be on social media, I might as well learn and get a positive message out of it. That's the way I'm seeing it now, and I feel like that's something people can
Mhm.
do by if you want to be on social media and see the good side of social media, start following people that you inspire to be like, people that send out a positive message, people that add value to your feed, and not not just the random I'm not trying to bash anybody, but the random TikTok dancer or whatever.
Yeah, but in a way, then we're contradicting ourselves when we tell people to look at people they aspire to be when the message was knowing who you truly are. Because at times when you follow those pages, then you are trying to. It's
It's
so
a it's
tricky, bro.
yeah.
Like unless it's a realistic person that you aspire to
Hmm.
be, like someone that is realistically at like a reach. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Where you can work your way into that person's, like, there's things that you can use as motivation, then there's things that you look at and just mortificarte, like they just terrorize your mind. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
Like seeing people do good and you not getting there after many years of hard work and people getting it easily, it messes you up. So I feel like you
I
just gotta
agree.
be realistic with yourself. You can follow them and stuff like that. You just gotta be realistic with what you want and your aspirations. And
Yeah.
your work ethic. I feel like that's important. Knowing
Yes.
your work ethic
Yes.
is very important because your work ethic is everything in your process, your day to day process, and your work ethic says a lot about your improvement and shows, you know what I'm saying, how far you can get if you have a strong work ethic. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're capable of. That's another thing. Knowing what you're capable of also is an important factor, I'd say, in self improvement. Those things I think is things that we all learn throughout, life, and we
Hmm.
know what we're capable of and what we're not capable of. Like for instance, someone could put like a box in front of you and they'd be like, jump over it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna try it, and see if you're capable of doing it. But if you don't accomplish it, you're not capable of doing it. But if you do accomplish it, you're capable of that and more. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Right.
I'm gonna go up another inch. You know what I'm saying? So knowing what you're capable of is I feel like it's important as well.
No, I
In
agree
self improvement.
100%. I agree 100% with that statement.
Yes, sir.
And so,
And Wanda Don dropping gems.
yeah, man, Juan de Don, you might as well start using your own quotes, man. But what I gotta come up with a whole odds system, and then I'm gonna start posting it at the beginning of the episodes. That way, you guys can see and tell me which way do you bet that you go, anonymous or non-anonymous. So, do you have
Nice.
anything else that you want to let the viewers and listeners know? Any positive message?
I don't. I mean, well, positive. I'd say Damn, you guys just got a lot. But positive, I'd say, is just knowing who you truly are, knowing yourself. And once you know yourself and what you're capable of, attack it at 1,000% until you reach your goals and the things that you want to accomplish in life. Yeah, that's how I generally feel. I feel like we're all capable of big things. We just have to find the right things that we're capable of and attack that correct accordingly. You know what I mean? Yeah, and being realistic with ourselves. Just be realistic with yourself as an individual. Know as far as you can go. You know what I'm saying? Push yourself to get to that limit, and know that we all have things that we're strong in and weak in, and don't be discouraged. Knowing that you have any weaknesses. This is my final thing I want to say.
Amen to that. I couldn't close it any better. But, guys, as always, make sure you guys are, liking, subscribing, commenting. Make sure you guys leave a positive comment. Let us know what was your biggest takeaway from today's episode. And, we still trying to do the weekly comment of the week. So make sure you guys are commenting, like we said at the beginning. Good episode. Once again, let us know what you guys thought. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about next. If you want to be our exclusive source to, the hottest topics, hit us up on the IG. You already know, the Vibras. But with that being said, make sure you guys like, subscribe. If you're listening, make sure you leave it a review and rate, right? Review and rate.
Yeah, rate, review.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Rate, review, all of that. Yeah,
all of that. And hit the notification bell. That way you guys get updated.
Yeah, hit the notification bell. Yeah, but the listen. If you're listening on any digital platform, leave your boys some 5 stars, man. Give them ratings up, man. Give them ratings up if you enjoy it. If you enjoy it,
100%. Don't do it just to do it. Be genuine about it.
Thanks. But yeah, smash that like button like all the old YouTubers just say. Smash that like button. Comment something positive that you took away from the episode. Comment any feedback that you may have, or comment any topics that you potentially want to hear on the Vibras. But yeah, like we always say, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button to get us up to 1K.
1K.
So we can, drop that exclusive, the Vibras merch. So yeah, and if you do subscribe, just know, like we always say here, remember to subscribe.
And let's buy. Peace. Amor y paz. Que Dios me lo cuide.